run. So let's take a look at the opening draft. Same as before, everything pretty much going standard, sort of as expected, right? Don't think there's any real surprises here so far.
Yeah, everybody going Nyx. Carnage is he's a Ranger player. That's no surprise there. His setup, both their setups are actually really, really common, what you're seeing right now.
Yeah, it's
especially for this map. But the visor is really good on especially in duel, but I think in particular maps like ZTN or Blood Run where there's a lot of different areas, different paths a player can take. So getting that little peek to make a judgment call about where they're going so you can cut off the map is really pivotal.
Absolutely. Well, players are in here now, so we will take a look, of course, at the matchup itself. In just a second, Carnage having himself a little bit of fun at the start, just hopping around.
Don't worry about it. You are never going to win.
I think this is definitely gonna be an interesting one, and it seems at the beginning too. Both of these guys, obviously, we don't know if these picks are gonna carry through straight forward into the actual match itself. But it looks like both may start with the Nyx. You might have yourself a nice little Nyx v Nyx mirror match. Oh, actually, it looks like one of them just changed out. So
round begins.
Might have a Ranger coming in instead there. We'll see in a second here.
Round one, fight.
Oh yeah, there we go. Not going to go straight for the Nyx, unfortunately. The mirror matchups on Nyxes are always very fun to watch. They're very high-intensity matchups. But Carnage is going to go for his Ranger, and it's going to be Piehero over on the Scale Bearer, actually, will be the initial spawns. Right at the start here, too, no one really finding themselves a huge advantage yet. In fact, oh, Piehero. Oh my goodness, Piehero is getting destroyed by these rails. He finally returns one, but it's so late. He's done at 24 HP, trying to regenerate some of it in that blood pool. Oof, but just ends up peeking right into it, and he's already lost his first champion there. Carnage off to off to a hot start, and then a rocket to the face of the second spawn. Already gets him the second kill too. Beautiful stuff from Carnage. Seems like your prediction may be holding true there, Megamelly.
Yeah, I mean, Piehero, he did hit a couple rails, but again, choosing the engagement was a questionable decision at best, and the way he went about actually engaging was definitely not a good decision. The way he jumped in. That's why Carnage just popped right around. That was an easy shot.
Yeah, and Carnage now really going to be an adventure too. Piehero hopping around down below, making all that noise. All he needs to do now is basically just predict where he's going, and then he can lock him down and try to kill him right here and try to end the first round already. Doing a little bit of self-damage, but the rocket's perfectly aligned, and he has absolutely zero trouble claiming that first round.
Got away with one there. I wouldn't recommend Carnage do that in a more competitive match, going for the mid-air rocket the way he did. Guy coming up the pad, but still he got the kill. It was a good read. He knew he was down there.
Round two.
So Carnage already having himself the 1-0, and we'll see if he's going to be able to continue that. Piehero, unfortunately, not the best start. He's going to need to take a moment back to himself here to figure out how he can make up for this one. And oh, Carnage, even with the nail gun, able to destroy his opponents. He's already got that first kill again, just 15 seconds into the round.
Piehero ate the slip gate because it was going down there for 100 damage. So he threw the slip gate. It hit him for 100 plus the nails. So that's why Carnage dropped down and went for the finish.
And he's going to go for the second one here too. His opponent, working with the shotgun, does pop the stealth too to try to get a little bit closer, but oh, there's the dire orb again. However, this time I think it actually misses full out. Piehero is able to dodge the damage. Oh, but Piehero just ends up in a corner that is definitely not safe to rockets. And there you go.
Yeah, he just walked right up and gave it to him pretty much.
And we could be looking again at the third kill happening really quickly here. Carnage, truly the advantage so far in this matchup.
Yeah, like I said, Piehero, when he's not in control, you can see he's going straight for these items. This is what I was talking about. Even though you know the timing, if you're not in a position to challenge for it, don't challenge. Anybody who's watching, and if you're new and you're trying to learn duel, you don't have to challenge for every single item. Trust me on this.
3, 2,
this is a prime example. Pie's just eating rockets and rails every time he goes for one of these.
Well, for Carnage here, once again, just starts off. He's got the first hit, and he's going to look to carry that through to following his opponent. Perfectly right now, and look at how close he was. He was like 2 inches short of getting that armor pickup. Might have not even saved him. But at the very least, would have been able to deny Carnage of picking it up. Now he's fully stacked. He's going to go right for this kill. If you'll note, piehero did change up his selection order here. He started off on the Nyx. Basically, I guess assuming, let's just get this thing out of the way to start off. And now is over onto the visor. Probably saving that scale bearer for last in case things go poorly for him again here.
And you can see, even just watching piehero, the difference in quality of movement. Good frag there.
There we go. piehero, nice little ambush against Carnage. Finally able to get, I think that's his first kill so far in the map.
It is. It's definitely his first kill. There we go. Maybe get some momentum here. A little confidence.
It's going to put Carnage into a cage, at least for now. Dodging the rockets. He's letting Carnage get a little bit too far away, though, so he's going to be able to move in. He's got the health pickup coming in a second. He still has another, probably like 7 seconds or so before the armor comes up. He's got a good read. Like I said before, piehero's got a good read on the situation, though. He just can't afford to get too greedy about the way he's playing this. Good, he's got control. Ooh, he actually missed that jump. So he might have to round it to the other side again. Good news for him, though, is I believe Carnage just fully assumed that he got it, so didn't even try to contest it.
Yeah, that'll happen.
So he's able to make that mistake and recover from it without too much of a consequence. Health's back up now, actually, so this is a chance for piehero to get ahead, as Carnage is nowhere near this spawn. So that's going to give him a little bit of a pickup, a little bit something to work off of. Pops the active as well, so he's going to have himself the nice little wall hack there. He's able to figure out where exactly Carnage is playing off of. Oh, and tries to line up that rail. Just overflicks it a little bit. So not going to hit the shot just yet. And now Pie. Nope,
No.
Man, you missed that.
Yeah, this is where the item management.
Now he's going to try to leap into the fight, but his opponent has a little bit more to play off of right now. He's still doing decent damage over there with the LG, and now dives away into the portal, just barely surviving the encounter. Almost getting hit by that rocket if that pole wasn't there. The terrain saves him for right now. Won't save him next time, though, as Carnage has already regened all of his health. Pie, in the meantime, barely recovered anything at all. He's just now gotten back up to 100. Thankfully, he has his active, though, so we can read around as to where Carnage is playing at. And Pie, I mean, considering the match he's up against here, Pie's actually playing this really smart with how passively he's kind of moving around and making sure he dodges Carnage at the appropriate timing here.
He's doing okay this round. Doing okay. Definitely better than the last couple rounds.
Took him a bit, but he's kind of holding his own weight now a little bit at least here as he moves in, hits another rail. Don't think the shot returned onto him either. So he's going to move in, tries to deny his opponent, but oh no, Carnage got the pickup. So he is going to be able to get that kill and bring Pie back down to his last champion now.
Yeah, good idea. Poor execution. Rocket placement was just poor.
And this might be going back over to the older Pie now, as he already got pushed back, got denied of the pickup on the armor. Health comes up in 10 seconds, but he might not even really be locked onto the spawns that well at this point. Just barely dodges that rail, dodges it again as he gets out into the open. Some missed ones coming in from Carnage. Pie really just looking for a great opportunity to abuse. He actually does have a good lock onto where the spawn's coming. The problem is he just doesn't have the positioning or the extra health to be able to dive in, and now just hands it over to Carnage as he's going to get that pickup. He's got himself tanked back up, and he's about to jump into this next fight over here against Pie. Maybe just to finish off the round entirely in a second.
I'm surprised Carnage didn't rocket jump right up to that RL and just finish him there. But
He's taking his time. Maybe playing with his food a little bit here.
It's
There we go.
over.
This is it. Leaping in. Double rail connection. Pie's down at 25. There you go. He's out. And that'll do it, ladies and gentlemen. First map goes by the way of Carnage in dominating fashion.
yeah, impressive play by Carnage. He's definitely going to be a force. Like I said, we'll see how he does once the competition starts getting really, thick, because we're going to get through these elimination brackets, and everybody he's going to run into is going to be really good. I'm curious to see how everybody responds to one, the pressure of another great player, and two, the money being on the line. So it's easy to play. It's easy to play free when, one, you feel like you have an advantage and skill over somebody, and two, when there's no money on the line. So it'll be interesting to see how things progress.
Absolutely. Well, like we said before, first map going to Carnage, but these are best of 3, so we still have at least one more to go. Like we said, Pie at the end there, in the long run of things, probably still going to end up losing the second map, but maybe he can make it a little bit. It honestly just seemed like he just wasn't prepared for those first couple rounds there, and it kind of took him all the way to the third round until he finally realized who he was up against and was able to bring himself down to his opponent's level in a way.
Yeah, definitely mental decisions need work, and sometimes I wonder if it's a little bit of a confidence thing. Sometimes I think these players might make decisions they don't usually make because, oh, I'm playing Carnage, and you know Carnage is a top player, so it might alter your game plan a little bit, and you really don't want to do that. I mean, because Carnage will make mistakes too. There's opportunities for you to push a great player, and I think sometimes players can give a great player or a good name, you know, somebody has a big name, too much respect, I guess, would be sometimes. Just play your game, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Just play your game.
Well, we're going into it now. Let's see if Pie might, nah, he's going to stick with it. No one's really tried to change up their picks too much just yet based on what their opponent brings to the table here. I think Pie maybe would try to want to experiment a little bit more with tankier champs, since especially on respawns, he's been having some problems there. There we go. Now, just pretty much very similar spec at the end of the day. And I think Carnage goes for just a slightly lighter kit as we head into Corrupted Keep for the second map.
Yeah, he went with Galena instead of Visor, I think was pretty much the only difference, right? Or
yeah, pretty much. So it might be, we'll see what the Galena is going to do on this map. They might try to have a little bit of fun with that. No one's gotten a straight up kill yet. With we've seen quite a few Galenas in the matches today, but no one's been able to straight up lock down a totem kill yet. Still waiting for that moment to happen again. Well, we are into it, and once again, guys, this is going to be the Corrupted Keep here. This is one of the newer maps that was added in the recent E3 patch, along with Blaskovitz and a couple other new twerks here and there.
Prepare to fight.
All right, but it is time indeed, as the announcer said, to fight. So let's get into
Round
it and
begins
see if
in
Pie is going to be able to
3,
put up a little bit more of a fight this time himself.
1. Round 1, fight.
Carnage went with Galena right away instead of Rangers.
Like I said, a little bit of fun. There's the totems. I'm waiting for it. He's actually going to leap right in, but oh, Pie holds his ground on the Nyx. And some well-placed rockets are actually going to give him the first kill, and now he's going for the respawn frag right at the start, too. Has him low. They try to use the teleportation there, but no, Pie. All of a sudden, he's come back alive with a double kill right at the start.
Yeah, poor engagement by Carnage. Just ran right into that RL room and ate 2 rockets. And he was dead, and then the respawn.
Stopwatch.
He said, even great players make mistakes. He shouldn't have done that.
I suppose so. Well, Pie moving in here now. Oh, he's got to be a little bit careful. Missed some shots, and now he's low himself. Smart, though. He gets himself out of there. The problem is Carnage, master of reading into this, is already following him and has finally gotten that trade, bringing it down to a 2v1 now. Still in Pie's favor, but now he's got to be a little bit more careful.
It's the problem with using Ghost Walk and critical when you have critical health, and I see a lot of players do this. It means their get out of jail free card. As we see this push right here. But it's really not, because you're low health. You only have limited options where you can go at that point because you are in critical health, and that's why Carnage made that read.
And speaking of Carnage, he has locked down with some nice rockets, and then just had to loop around the map a little bit to get that final angle that was needed. Gets the second kill. Now we're even back down into a 1v1. Piehero's lost his advantage, which he got within 25 seconds, which is impressive in itself, getting those 2 kills that quickly. However, Carnage is back in the fight, and he has located Piehero to try and secure the last kill of this round. In the meantime, though, Pie finds himself in the room and does not want anything to do with this fight. Runs away from it, using the charge to escape. Does get himself out of there for the time being. However, Carnage is going to be close behind. Oh, just used the pop as well, but I think Pie saw some of the dust, so he may know this is happening. Doesn't matter, though. Brought down so low, but oh, hits that shot. But still a little bit too much health left over there for Carnage, so he was able to complete the round. And a nice little 1v3 comeback there, too.
Yeah, he missed. He didn't see the mist. I know you thought he might have, but yeah, he didn't see it.
3, 2,
it's a good finish by Carnage there.
2, fight.
It's a good play. That's how you use the ghost. That's how you want to use the ghost walk. If you're using a critical health to get away, you're really not maximizing the effectiveness of it.
Well, these two guys get right into a fight again at the beginning of this round. Carnage having some trouble with the rockets there. He gets killed by Pie again, and Pie survives it with just 5 HP. Got to run around quickly to make sure he gets some of that health back.
How did he survive? I thought he was going to get launched off the side for sure.
It looked like it for a second there, but I guess he held on. It's a pretty wide platform out there, so.
I wonder if his double jump saved him to get back, because he got launched pretty good.
Well, Pie's going to find himself in the battle here anyway. Rockets are good, but staying too close to the ground. Gets hit by better ones from Carnage, and Carnage does complete the trade.
he got caught with the mid-air rocket. Great mid-air rocket by Carnage.
So Carnage back to being in control here. Right, over to the visor. The emergency pop of the miss, but look at how close he's staying. He wants to continue this fight, but nicely found by piehero. Beautiful rockets as well. Head on, it seemed like both of the connections were pretty much max damage there, and that allows him to eliminate the second champion of Carnage, bringing him just down to the Galena.
Yeah, Carnage got to be careful now.
Carnage. Slow to hop around the map here. Unfortunately for Carnage, not taking a whole lot of damage from that engagement. And Pi still being a little bit cautious as he waits for these spawns to come out. They're a little bit too close for him to pick up both. However, he does get himself the health, whereas Carnage is going to move in to take the armor right now. But Pi's going to waste no time as soon as he pops an ability. Hyper aggressive into this fight now, and it's in such a small corridor, but Carnage holds on. And he's able to secure yet another trade, bringing this down to a 1v1. Pi might get aggressive, though, to try and complete the trade himself and win out the round to try and make it 1-1. Here comes the charge. I think that's going to be way off the mark, though, and he might have actually just messed himself up by doing that solo, and there's the final rocket. It's Carnage to take round 2 with a 2-0 advantage.
Just excellent
Prepare
rocket
to
placement
fight.
by Carnage. The mid-air rocket was just Hollywood highlight, but just overall the way he uses the rocket launcher is highly effective. And the way, if anybody wanted to learn a little something about how to use the rocket launcher, watch how this man's using the rocket launcher.
Well, so for Carnage, he tries to bait his opponent into taking a duel, and it's going to work perfectly. Already the pop the stealth coming back in, but Pi wants to continue the chase. Only got brought down to actually 43 HP. He's got the low ground, though. Doesn't have a quick way to get up on top, so Carnage is going to be allowed to survive. Recovers all of his health. Doesn't have any armor, though, so he goes down and apparently kills himself. Not sure exactly how he killed himself, but I guess
Shooting the round, he thought Pi was a little lower than
I guess he switched over.
actually was.
Yeah, I guess he switched over to the rocket at the end there. That would explain it. I thought he was on the shotgun for a second. But anyway, piehero gets that kill. And, well, the thing is, Pi's got a great lock as to where exactly Carnage is going, too. Carnage has to try to get him off his tail. This has been the one thing that Pi has actually been really good at so far, is when he does get that kill, he's really great at the follow-up of really just keeping the pressure on the second spawn. And speaking of which, look at this here now. Problem is, Carnage right into it, and now Pi gets stuck, bounced up. It allows Carnage to, again, trade it out and keep it even in a 2v2.
Yeah, it's got potential. It's like another guy I see with potential. He's got to work on some of the decision making. Again, part of it is too is give Carnage some credit here. He's out fighting in some of these scenarios, but Pi's not doing himself any favors in some of his decisions he's making.
Both these guys take a moment to themselves. The spawns are coming up soon. They're split, though, by a good, like, 7 or 8 seconds, so Carnage has time to go pick that up and then route over here. And, yeah, Pi realizes he can't take that fight, bails out. He only had 70 HP or so to try and take it. So he does end up going away from that one, and he'll just give the spawn over to Carnage and trying to run away from this one, though he has cornered himself. And now Carnage can move in, trying to get the second kill. Great rocket shot, almost knocks him off, but he survives on the bones. Pi just needs a few more shots, and somehow he survives that engagement, beating out Carnage and eliminating now Carnage's second champion.
Great shot. That rocket he hit him with really turned the tide of that battle. And just recognizing he had to make a play. I mean, now's your chance.
Pi gonna leap right in, trying to take a close-up fight versus the Galena. Gotta be really careful with the shotgun, though, especially at that range.
Frustrating the weapon selection there. He should have just had a rocket launcher out. He would have been golden. He would have just kept his rockets out.
Well, Pi finds himself still in an advantage scenario, but maybe not for long here. Push down to the bottom.
He's at disadvantage right now.
Stuck down below. He does get the health pick up here. Missed rocket. Oh, and there we go. Carnage moves in to finish off the job, as he will claim a second kill. And again, we go down to a 1v1. Same as the past few rounds. Carnage has always won these in the past. Pi now has to turn it around, though, or he's going to get knocked out. All right, well, that's not going to happen either. Carnage quickly locks onto that third kill, and he'll take control of this map.
Great rocket play by Carnage. I said Pi put up a fight there a couple times, but he just needs... just has to work on that decision making. Just some of it was like, even when he charged in he got a kill, and he's up 2-1. And he goes to push, Carnage's Uncle Len at the heavy armor there, and he's pushing in with the lightning gun. It's like, lightning gun's great when you line somebody up coming up a jump pad or in their back or whatever, and you're looking to finish them. But it's not great when somebody has 200 total damage you need to do to bring them down. That it's going to take you a while to bring them down. So just hit them with that rocket.